What's your story? Soren Kierkegaard says there are two ways to be fooled. One is to believe what's not true. The second is to not believe what is true. What's your story? I've noticed that in organizations, something very unique that maybe hasn't been noticed before, they're made up of people. These people are managers and employees and they're leaders, but they're also husbands and wives, sons and daughters, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, friends and neighbors. They all come to your organization, to your work, to your team with a story. I've had a chance to be in several thousand schools around the country over the last 25 years, 2 million young people. And I found that adults are just children with more days and nights. What is it that we can learn from those young people that is still a part of us? And if you're not going through adolescence, you possibly have some. Elementary children, when they come to a program, we do not put them in bleacher seats. How come? Because they kick their feet. We do not put elementary children in auditorium seats. Why? They're spring-loaded. Can you say catapult? I mean, you put a 40-pound kindergartner in a spring-loaded auditorium seat, and they're pushing it down like this, and their face gets all scrunchy, and then they put one arm over here and one arm over there, and they're back and forth, and all of a sudden, poof, it snaps shut. And they push it down, poof, it snaps shut, and they push it down, poof, it snaps shut. It's like, and by the end, they have knees for ears. They are peering over the seat. It's very distracting. It's like Home Improvement with the guy behind the fence with his eyes right over the fence. And so we always put elementary children on the floor, and their buttons are like suction cups. And they can't wait to participate, and their little hands are... By the time they become adults, they just kick back, cross their arms, and go, I'm awesome, I'm beautiful, I'm over here if you need me. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but the walls we put up to keep other people out are the same walls that keep us in. Elementary children are free. They can't wait to save the world. They can't wait to help the homeless. They can't wait to help the planet. You have a food drive in an elementary school. All the canned goods from your house end up at school. And you have to sign up to get some of it back. What can we learn from elementary children about freedom and about love? Because you see, they're not focused on themselves. They're focused on others. They're not focused on what they can get. They're focused on what they can give. They're not focused on the differences. They're focused on how people are basically the same. Fill in the... You're catchy? Good. Elementary children are always writing me letters. They write me Dear John letters, except in Iowa, they write me John Deere letters. Some of these I just do for myself, okay? Here's one, I love you. Elena, wide line paper. Dear John, thank you for coming and sharing with us. You are special. Love, Elena. Go with your gut. There you go. I love you. Is it nice? Is it true? Is it necessary? Wide line paper. Dear John, thank you for coming and sharing with us. You are special. Love, Scott. Here's another one. I love you. You are special. Come back soon. Is it nice? Is it true? Is it necessary? One of the things I always taught young people, little rainbow and a flower. Wide line paper. Dear John, thank you for coming and sharing with us. You are special. Love, Jason. I think it's a writing assignment. How'd they know what to write? They looked up on the board. How do we know what to become? We look at moms. We look at dads. We look at society. We look at managers. We look at leaders. Managers are striving to help people do what they don't want to do, where leaders are inspiring people to do what they didn't think they could do. Who are the examples? What examples are we setting for others? What's your story? What's in your life that has meaning and that matters, that wants to be resolved, addressed, and answered? What's holding somebody back? Because endings always precede beginnings. What's your story? This one's from Bridget. Bridget's in the 5th grade. She writes, Dear John, you're real cool. I think you could change many people's minds about taking drugs. We all think your story about Mary is real sad. Our teacher, Miss Gibbs, thinks you're real cute. I don't know her telephone number, but I do know she lives in St. Paul. Sincerely, Bridget. I like Bridget. She wants to give me her teacher as a gift. Elementary children are free not because they're focused on self, because they're focused on, not because they're focused on what they can get, but how they can. Not because they're focused on the differences, but how people are basically This one's from Matt. Matt's in the 3rd grade. He writes, "Dear Mr. Crudele, your story about your dad touched me. It got me thinking, and that's something I don't do much of." Yours truly, Matt. What's your story? Who are you? What do you stand for? What do you believe in? What's in the core of your values? Because you can't outperform your beliefs. Are they unified with the mission and the vision and the values of the organizations that you're a part of? What needs to be addressed? Grow, change, embraced, healed, to become the most authentic version of yourself. Who are you? What do you stand for? When I was 15 years old, there was a knock on the door. What's your story? When I was 15, the police were standing there. What's your story? When I was 15, they said, make a phone call. My mom made the phone call. She hung up the phone and she said, son, your dad died. I said, son, dad committed suicide. What's your story? We all have highs and lows. I remember crying myself to sleep that night, and then I cried for 3 days, and I didn't cry again for 17 years. Became a professional speaker, got my audiences to cry, became codependent on this experience. When I was 27 years old, a friend said, John, have you considered professional help? I said, I am professional help. How come you can help everyone but your? It's okay to hurt, it's okay to cry, it's okay to ask for help. At 31, I went to counseling, and at 32 years old, I was sitting in the counselor's office, and it was 2 months into counseling, and I started to cry for the first time in 17 years. Tears are streaming down my face, and I looked up at the counselor. I said, look, I'm crying. I looked up, he was crying. I go, what are you crying about? He goes, I'm such a good counselor. And then this poem came into my heart. It went to hurt, to heal, becoming real. As walls come tumbling down. Because the walls you put up to keep other people out are the same ones that keep you in. To hurt, to heal, becoming real. As walls come tumbling down. To know your love for what's inside. Life's joy can then be found. And in your weakness, you'll find your strength. And in your pain, your hope. All failure builds into success provided. You learn to cope. While others walked, while you remain, must surely be a sign. Question you, my friends. Question God above. Was I really all that blind? It's okay to hurt. It's okay to cry. It's okay to ask for help. Who are you? What do you stand for? What do you believe in? What are the quotations in your life that mean so much to you, that resonate with the beliefs within you? William Bridges, the author of Transition, says, to become something else, you have to stop being what you are now. To start doing things a new way, you have to end the way you are doing them now. And develop a new attitude or outlook, you have to let go of the old one you have now. Endings always come first. T.S. Eliot goes on to say, to make an end is to make a beginning. The end is where we begin from. And Horton the elephant says, a person's a person, no matter how small. What's your story? What needs to end so something can begin? The beginning. When I speak in organizations, I have a chance to give motivational and inspirational keynotes that are founded in authenticity and being totally present for the persons there. Stories can be layered all the way down to the deepest of places and can be customized in any way to include or exclude what you would wish to have in or outside of the presentation. There are presentations and workshops on communication, mastermind groups in and around the John Maxwell trainings of the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, as well as one-on-one coaching that can take place with leaders and managers following a presentation. You're special. You don't have to prove it to anyone. It's been a pleasure sharing with you. Thanks.